All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about generosity today, but probably not in the way you're used to thinking about it. See, this isn't about being a soft, sentimental virtue. We're here to completely reframe generosity as one of the most powerful, and I mean strategic tools you have for getting ahead professionally. It's a totally counterintuitive idea, especially in a world that's always telling us to take, not give.
That's pretty much the soundtrack of our lives, isn't it? It's this constant, relentless drumbeat of scarcity. It's this deep-seated belief that for you to win, somebody else has got to lose. That success is some kind of finite resource we all have to scramble and fight for. But what if that whole story is just wrong? What if that's the very thing that's holding you back?
So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to diagnose the problem, what we're calling the scarcity trap. Then we'll dive into its powerful alternative, the abundance mindset. After that, we'll get into the nuts and bolts of why this actually works with something called the law of value. We'll frame it as a smart investment, and then, most importantly, we'll give you a concrete first step you can take literally today. And this is the core idea right here, the generosity dividend. This isn't about some fuzzy feel-good karma. No, think of this as a practical, almost ruthless philosophy. It's the understanding that the single best thing you can do for your own success is to genuinely focus on making other people successful. It's a dividend that pays out in ways you can't even begin to predict.
Okay, first things first, we have to really understand the enemy. And the enemy isn't the person in the cubicle next to you, it's a worldview. It's called the scarcity mindset. Think of it like this invisible software running in the background of your brain, constantly whispering that life is a zero-sum game. And what's so wild about this is that scarcity isn't really a reality, it's a belief. It's the lens you see the world through. And it's a lens that's built on fear. It creates this little closed-off system in your mind where sharing an idea or some credit or a connection feels like a huge strategic mistake, like you're literally giving away a piece of your own future success.
And this mindset, it's not some abstract theory. It shows up in very real, very common behaviors. You've seen this, right? That little hesitation to give someone else credit, or someone who just hoards information. That's scarcity in action. And that pit in your stomach when a colleague gets a big win, that feeling that their success is somehow your loss, that is the fixed pie fallacy, alive and well. This toxic idea that there's only so much success to go around. So, if that scarcity mindset is the trap, then what's the escape hatch? Well, it's a fundamental shift in how you see everything. It lets you build a completely different reality for yourself. And it's called the abundance mindset. Just look at how different these two are. It's night and day. On the scarcity side, the core belief is there's not enough. But on the abundance side, it's enough can be created. That one little tweak changes everything. Your whole worldview flips from this finite, fixed pie to an infinite game where the pie just keeps getting bigger. Fear gets replaced by trust, and the result isn't isolation and anxiety, it's connection and opportunity. And here's what that actually looks like out in the real world, day to day. A scarcity mindset hoards connections like they're gold. An abundance mindset is eager to introduce people who should know each other. A scarcity mindset secretly resents other people's success, while an abundance mindset genuinely celebrates it because it knows that a rising tide lifts all boats. One builds walls, the other one builds bridges. It's that simple. Okay, so the mindset shift is huge. But why does this actually work? I promise you, it's not magic. There's a powerful mechanism at play here, a kind of social physics. Let's call it the law of value. And this is the crucial point. This is not about some mystical, cosmic force balancing the scales. It's pure psychology. See, as humans, we are deeply, deeply wired for reciprocity. When you give something of real value to someone, you create this powerful social and psychological pull for them to return the favor, and often with interest. It's a fundamental driver of how we interact with each other. But when we say give value, we're not just talking about money. Far from it. Look at this list. These are all currencies of value. You can give someone a crucial piece of information. You can give them an introduction to the right person. You can give them simple validation, or your time, or just some encouragement. Every single person has something on this list they can give away freely, right now, without spending a single cent. But here's the catch, and this is maybe the most important part. The return is almost never immediate. This isn't a vending machine where you put in one favor and get one back instantly. No, this is a long-term investment. You might make a simple introduction today, and 5 years down the road, that tiny act could come back to you from a completely unexpected direction, multiplied 100 times over. You have to play the long game. And that idea of the long game brings us to a really critical reframing. We have to stop thinking of generosity as a cost and start seeing it for what it truly is, a strategic investment in building your single most valuable asset. And what is that asset? It's social capital. Think of it as the currency of trust and relationships. In the hyper-connected world we live in, the strength of your network and the reputation you have can open doors that money just can't buy. And every single time you act with generosity, you're making a deposit into that account. Now, a really important warning here. This is not a call to become a doormat or to just be a people pleaser until you burn out. That's not strategic at all. We're talking about skillful generosity. It means you have to have boundaries. It's about giving from a place of strength and genuine capacity, not from a place of insecurity or a desperate need for approval. The goal is to give in a way that actually energizes you, not depletes you. And this grid is a super smart way to think about where to put your energy. You want to live in that right-hand column, high impact. A low-lift, high-impact action, like a single strategic email introduction, can literally change two people's careers, and it only takes you 5 minutes. A high-lift, high-impact action is something bigger, like mentoring, which takes more energy, but the payoff is massive for everyone. The key is to stay out of that bottom left corner. Don't waste your best skills on stuff that doesn't really move the needle for anyone. Okay, so how do we make this real? Let's get out of the theory and into practice. It all starts with one small, deliberate action. Let's call it the Unexpected Value Challenge. Here's your toolkit. These are simple, powerful things you could do today. The whole mindset shift is to stop seeing these as chores and start seeing them as opportunities. Don't just read a great article. Think, who in my network needs to see this, and forward it to them. Don't just meet a cool person. Ask yourself, who do I know that they should meet? These aren't huge, dramatic gestures. They're small, consistent deposits of value into your network. And at the end of the day, this is the real secret. Yeah, sure, opportunities and success will come back to you. They will. But that's not the ultimate prize. The greatest dividend is the change in your own identity. You stop being just a consumer of value, and you become a creator of it. You become a hub, a connector, a builder of community. And that is a kind of wealth that no one can ever take away from you. So I'll just leave you with this one question. It's not about what you can get, it's about what you can give. So take a look at your day, your knowledge, your network, and just ask yourself, what unexpected value will I create for someone else today? Because that's where the dividend begins.